Hey folks, good evening. It's Tricia Cunningham coming to you live from my living room and kitchen. Gonna give it a few seconds because I know this is last minute. A lot of great things have been going on. I think looking a little bit better than I did earlier. I don't know, but maybe I really wanted people to take me a little more seriously tonight, so I figured, we'll do the regular glasses and organic bifocals, that kind of fun stuff. More clothes on. So tonight's topics, and hey, this could go on for 5 minutes, this could go on for a half an hour, who knows. So a little bit about what's been going on here. Today, I personally felt very offended being shamed, whether you want to call it fat shamed, or somebody had given their opinion, and I took it personally today, and I shouldn't have done that because everybody's entitled to their opinion. When it comes to social media, and please feel free to chime in here too as well. Hey, hi Christine, hi everybody. So one of the things that really upset me is I took it personally because it was a friend. And a lot of you have come in the background and said things, and I left it up as public, and I'm going to keep it there. Simply for the simple fact is this is a beautiful woman. This is a gorgeous woman, actually. She's 3 kids. I love her to death. Great friend. I don't know what happened today, and maybe it might not have been the most appropriate thing. It wasn't like I was trying to send it to the White House, or that I work for the White House, or that I work for my own political campaign. But politics aside, I've seen a lot of other crazy things out there. And one thing that being in the political circle did to me personally is it left me in a little bit of a rut emotionally. And I've said this a million times, and if anybody has my book, and if you don't get it, it's called The Reverse Diet. You can get it on Amazon, any bookstore. If it's not there, they'll order it for you. Not making a ton of money on the book, I promise you. It's not about that. In fact, I always tell everybody go to Amazon because it's actually going to be the lowest cost for you. Total plug. That's that one right behind me. But long story short, I gained 50 pounds on these last couple of campaigns that I was on. Mango's campaign, when I was working for him, and God love him. Happy birthday, by the way, Paul. Today's his birthday, so if anybody's out there, make sure that you go on there and say happy birthday to Paul Mango. Love him. Great guy. He's working for the administration right now. So anyhow, I was surrounded by stellar humans on this campaign, and everybody was physically fit, and here I was just coming off the Trump campaign, feeling very depressed. I'm an emotional eater. So anywho, it's one of those things where you go into your closet, you're off the campaign, it's summertime, you go to put on a pair of pants, and you're like, and then everybody wants to go boating, or they want to do this, or they want to, it's so easy to put that life jacket on and all that stuff. But the craziest thing is, and I had somebody share that with me tonight. How did I not know that you wrote a book? Well, I met you during the campaign or after the campaign, and being 50 pounds over my goal weight, I'm not out there promoting the book. And one of the funniest facts, and a lot of people don't know this, is when I was writing the diet book, I gained 10 pounds writing a diet book because it was that stressful. So there's my guilty pleasure. I'm a stressful eater. So how do you turn that around? You just do. You wake up one morning and you say, okay, you know what? I'm done. We're creatures of habit. We know that. So if you're in a miserable mood in the morning, if you don't have some way of getting out of that little ditch you're in, you're not going to, unless you have an incentive. So that goes to the shaming. Whatever was going on with her today, or whatever popped up that triggered her to come out and say that, I'm wrapping my arms around you right now. And to do that publicly, 1, it took guts. 2, I love all of my friends and my family and the BBAF, everybody that came out and had something to say, because you know what? It made me feel good. Not that we were going after somebody else, but the fact that you recognized that what was being said and was wrong. It was out of character. It was completely out of place. I mean, I've been in front of that wood pile for months now, and totally big clothes and this and everything. And yesterday, a good friend of mine, Renee Peo, she called me a sissy again. She's been calling me a sissy since I said I didn't want to go out in 24-degree below weather and stand next to the wood pile. So I took it as a challenge, and I did it, and it felt good. I froze, but it felt good. And yesterday she called me a sissy again. So I said, you know what? What do you want me to do? Go out there in shorts? So over breakfast this morning, my husband said, heck with it. Let's go out to the lake, put your bikini on, and I'll take a picture of you out there. So instead of that, instead of going out on the lake, and the frozen one, by the way, we did it in front of our wood pile. My husband took the picture, and at 46 years old with three kids, you know, stepson, 2 daughters, and 6 grandkids, I went out there in the freezing cold in a bikini, and I felt pretty good about myself. You know, do I work hard for this body? Nope. I guarantee it's not perfect by any means whatsoever. But, you know, if I worked out a little bit harder, or if I did some other things, maybe I would feel a little bit more empowered. So that gave me a goal today to say the heck with it. Oh, Roxy and hi. Oh, because honey. So I guess what I'm trying to say is take anything that happens to you in a negative way and turn it into a positive. And anytime you're going to do something in life, no matter what it is, and you want to change anything in your life, it has to start with breaking that habit. Now, how do we do that? You can do the same thing over and over again, and it's complete insanity if you want to change it. Now, if it's a good thing, it's a positive thing, don't, you know, fix what's not broken. But one of the little exercises, or per se, that I utilize to share this. Hey, baby Renee, I love you, baby. One of the things that I share with a lot of my clients or groups or anybody that I've worked with before, and I learned this from somebody years ago, was the only way to break a habit is to realize that you have one. Now I'm going to do this trick. It's not a trick, but I'm going to ask you to do the same. Whether you're in front of a mirror or not or whatever, just cross your arms. Non-cross them. Simple, right? Let's do that again. Just cross your arms and uncross them. One more time. We're going to cross our arms and uncross them. Now, we've been doing that the same way our whole life, right? Crossing your arms. Simple as that. Now, try to do it the other way without thinking, using the other arm to do it. Now, I've done it so many times, I'm going to automatically do it, right? Or you might mimic me. But move away from the computer or your phone and try to do it. Just do it the opposite way. Do it the opposite way. Like I said, I've done it a long time. Now, if I tell you tomorrow morning, I'm going to get a hold of you and I want you to, the first time, not stumbling, switch your arms and cross it over the same way, only using the opposite arm that you have your whole life. Now, you're going to go home and you're going to try to practice this. You might forget about it. But if I tell you in the morning, I'm going to give you $10,000 if you switch that arm and switch it up immediately without blinking. You're going to go home and you're going to practice all night long. You might not sleep. $10,000 just to cross your arm differently than you have your whole life. And what have I done differently? I gave you an incentive. And that's what we all need to change anything in our life, is an incentive. Mine was a pair of shorts. A pair of shorts that I wanted to go put on. I couldn't get them up over top of my knees. At that point, it wasn't the scale, because I don't get on my scale. I don't. When I go to the doctors, I get on the scale. I don't even look. I go by what my clothes tell me I feel like, or a picture by a wood pile in a bikini. 30-degree weather. Actually, it was 10. But anyhow, long story short, so what I'm trying to share with you today, take this for an example. You might be having a bad day. You're walking across the street and somebody honks a horn or somebody gets in your way. They don't know you're having a bad day. So take it for face value and leave it alone. The reason it personally hurt me today is because it came from a friend. And I get butthurt real quick when I think that a friend of mine is turning on me, instead of saying privately, maybe saying, hey, you know what? I don't think that's the most appropriate thing. I wasn't going to take it down. I'm not offended by it, but I was hurt. And anywho, so I'm trying to conform now a little. So anyhow, we're crossing our arms. There's all kinds of fun stuff that we can do, and I'm going to do that. So one really cool aspect of my life that I've learned the hard way is learning to rely on other people. Now, I have people that have promised me the world and said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And, you know, I've been at fault in saying the same thing and not been able to deliver because of unforeseen circumstances. But it's happened to me over and over again so many times over the last few years, and it's my fault. So, I was supposed to come out with Chew on This, in January, and the website was going to be done and all these other fun things. And you know what? I got to do it myself. I've learned that. So with that being said, I'm going to be responsible for this from now on. Chew on This is going to be coming out on Monday. Hold me accountable. Call me. Do whatever you got to do. It will be out. Over the weekend, I'm going to break into it, kind of like what I'm doing now, but it's going to be in the kitchen. So I've got everything set up, ready to go. My fault for not starting, but topics. We're going to have tons of them. Shoot me over topics that you want to talk about. I will be bringing people either on screen with me or right here in my kitchen. So if you want to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we can do that. We can do it live, and we can also do it taped. So if it's convenient for you to come at a different time, I want to accommodate you, because the whole reason behind this is not to get likes on Facebook, and it's not to get clicks, and it's not to be this popularity contest, because I don't need any of that. What I'm here, and I know what my purpose on life is, or on this earth, is to help other people, help themselves. That's all there is to it. I'm God's guinea pig. Say it all the time. He puts me through everything. I've been a bartender, a dog groomer, a mom, a grandma, a waitress, an author, a speaker, a sales trainer, an executive, ran my own companies. I've split wood. I run a chainsaw. I can fix cars. I gained a whole bunch of weight and I lost a whole bunch of weight. And I gained a whole bunch of weight and I lost a whole bunch of weight. But one thing along the lines that I've realized is that as long as you put your mind to it, you can do anything. I could be sitting there in the White House one minute and getting a tattoo the next. I'm always going to be me. So if I'm 300 pounds or 120 pounds or in between, my weight doesn't define the person that I am. It doesn't define the person you are either. You define the person that you are. Nobody else. Nobody else is responsible for your actions except for you. So those are going to be some really fun topics that we talk about. And Monday, it's the big day. Yes, Roxanne, I'm telling you. And this weekend's going to be a lot of fun too. I need suggestions and ideas for the next woodpile picture. I could have done the string bikini, but not the dead winter. Nope, got to do a little bit more exercise for that one. But maybe that'll be the spring shot. I will be turning 47 this fall. So there's a goal I'm going to set. Probably be in Myrtle Beach for that one. No, actually I won't. Renee, I'm going to be in California with you at the golf outing. I totally forgot. So yeah, the Bayo Angel Foundation. So we've got some big exciting news coming up about that too here pretty soon. So huge, I'm really excited, and I'm going to share with you all how you can help these children and these families. They're absolutely amazing, and I'm very honored to be a part of the BBAF family. It's amazing, and God intertwines us all to be part of one another's lives. I know when I start getting, and I have my friends list private for a reason, a lot of people would get on there and just start friending all of my friends, and it was an invasion of their privacy too. But I'm so sorry, I'm right in here. Right here. Ow. Now I'm an inspiration in my employment. Well, being an inspirator doesn't pay much. Toyota does not like hearing me say volunteer. It's my job description. Just putting it out there. I have to go back to work. So, and I don't like being told what to do, so kind of working this way works for me. Oh, Jody, I love you. I love you, Jody. Nice fireplace. You got to see it next time you're in town, Scott. That's for sure. Got to come over here and hang out in the Cunningham homestead here. Everybody's always welcome. Open door policy, as long as you knock. So no border invaders. Yeah. Kind of let us know ahead of time. But as far as my friends go, I have 5,000 at any given time, or like 4,999 at any given time. And if somebody says that I meet out in Worldland, hey, I want to get on your Facebook, I have to go back and try to delete people. It's hard because I've either met, spoke to, or physically interacted with most of the people that are on my friends list. And today that was huge. It was just huge, very empowering to know that other people are out there that care so much, that see something like that, that, hey, Irvin, hi, you and your wife need to get your butts over here and eat. Come on my show, or not. Bring Camo Man and his princess with her, or with him. So anyhow, I wanted to address that because it was the elephant in the room today, for me especially. A lot of great phone calls and a lot of great friends, and I just want to thank you for cheering me up, because I was a little like, hey, I felt like I had to defend myself, and I didn't. I really didn't. It was an awesome experience. It was very empowering, and it was actually more clothes than I was wearing for my 46th birthday this summer out on the beach in the red bikini. I had a tan back then though, but whatever. I guess that was the appropriate time. So let's move on to the next. Very terrifying and we will do dinner soon. Yeah, we keep saying that, but we got to write it down, make it happen. That's a huge one for me. Probably one of the most favorite books I've ever had. Read. Write it down and make it happen. I have little Post-it notes all over my mirror in the morning, and then I take them down. Just a nice little trick you might want to learn. Just take them down as the day goes. That's my whole goal, to make sure that the basket gets all of the Post-it notes by the end of the day. And if one's still there, it's irritating, but a try. So we're going to move on to another very, very touchy subject. Like I said, 2 on this is going to be coming out on Monday. I'm going to shoot for 6 p.m. I think it's a great time. It's drive time. You could put it on, it's going to be live. So you can put it on your earbuds, drive time at home, 3 o'clock West Coast. And if nothing else, you can see it again. I'm also going to take these videos and I'm going to put them on YouTube, and then we're going to start doing podcasts. And those are going to start going 5 days a week. 5 days a week. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm looking for, thank you very much, Roxanne. I felt amazing. I didn't have to use duct tape or what do you call it? Photoshop. Like, for God's sakes, everybody, I can't Photoshop anyhow. It took me forever to learn how to do this. So there's some things that I'm good at and other things I'm not. Tech's not my big thing. Abortion. Next subject. Very, 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 very touchy subject for some people, and others it's not. We have a lot of it, and I don't want to stay on it too long because this is one of the topics that I really want to talk about on Monday. I know a lot of people that have had them. I'm not one to stand outside of an abortion clinic and pound anybody about it or throw things at people or shame them. By God, don't shame them. I have my own opinion, and if it's asked, I'll give it to that certain person. But my biggest thing is wrap your arms around that person that's thinking about doing it, that has done it in the past, and are suffering the consequences of the mental anguish. It could go either way. I mean, even these girls that get out there, and these young girls, or these older women, whatever you want to call them, they get out there and they just, I'm so empowered because I had abortions, and these, I'm going to call them flat out, here I am shaming, flat out idiots. And when I say idiots, you're an idiot. If you have a responsible position, which you do, as somebody as an actor or an actress or a sports figure or somebody that's in the public, you do have a responsibility to the public because you are being paid by the public to be a public figure. And at that point, I truly believe that these actresses that are getting out there and saying, oh, I had these many abortions, or I did this and it's okay, or they videotape it. Think about it. Renee put something up today, and I'm going to click here. I literally cried, and it's probably my inspiration as to why. And if I could share that, Renee, I'd really appreciate it. Not thinking that you would ever hold it back, but I don't like to take things off of your page. There are people out there that are killing their children, clean up until they give birth. And now in New York, it's legal. And I'm going to touch on that base real quick because there's a lot of people that jump the gun, per se, that they want to say that they jumped the gun on it and said it's not true. It's not all like they were trying to protect people. Like the fact that one of the things in the New York bill, if you read it, which is different than reading a meme or anything else like that on Facebook. Thank you. they're trying to say that they're protecting women and abortion clinics from the murder clause if they do perform an abortion in the third trimester, which is murder. Some people will debate whether or not abortion should be done before or after the heartbeat has started. When you take a seed, a little baby seed that you're going to plant, just take a corn kernel. Say that 15 times fast. Can't. So you take that little corn seed and you put it in a glass of water with, and we did this as a science experiment, I think in the 3rd grade, and you put a paper towel behind it, and it's a seed. It has potential, just like the egg in the ovaries coming into the uterus and sperm from the testicles. There's potential, right? It's just a seed at that point. When they combine, when that water hits that seed and it starts to sprout, we call it a seedling. It is growth, which means it's alive. When that sperm hits that egg and that is creation of life. No dispute. Can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. It's proven in science. When the development happens, where you have that seedling now, when it starts growing this way, and the roots start going this way, what do? You take it out and you plant it in soil and you watch it grow, and it needs nourishment, just like the baby does in a womb. That seed and that fertilized egg, once it hits water and once that egg is fertilized, is life. Then you have a child on the way. You have a fruitful plant on the way. We know that. There's no way you can dispute it. So am I absolutely right? In my mind, I am, and that's fine. And there's the debate, and that's disputable, and that's fine. What is not fine is when another human being kills a defenseless soul, a baby. And this is, I'm going to put this up here, Renee. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see. This little itty bitty baby. See if you can see that. It says, you cry about those animal commercials, so why don't you cry for me? And it goes on to say, I'm just as helpless as they are, except I'm your flesh and blood. Take my hand, not my life. That's why I'm doing this tonight, folks. We can go out there and care about the homeless and the veterans and the wild animals and the nature preserves and the poor pups, which I just want to strangle somebody that leaves their animals out there, other than huskies, because they're used to it. We've seen that. But anyhow, leaves their animals out there, the cruelty of these animals. But there's a baby, a little itty baby that had no choice coming into this world. There's another debate, and know my stance on it. Incest, rape, the mother's life or the child's life. And now you have countries that are allowing Down syndrome children selective abortions. Are you kidding me? We have countries out there that are genetically putting your child together as blonde hair, blue eyed, or dark hair, whatever they want, and they're genetic children. There's so many families out there that are longing for children, that are going to foreign countries. There's baby markets. There's all these things out there because all they want is fulfilled and to adopt a child. Or how many stories, for the one story that you hear about the woman that was raped, that decided to have an abortion, versus the other woman that was raped that had the child and either gave that child up or decided to raise that child. There's so many of those stories out, but for some reason they're squashed. And I think they need to be heard more. I'm not I'm not begrudging, I'm not berating, I'm not shaming anybody that has done that by any means whatsoever. And I just want to put my arms around you and I want to pray for you if that has happened. But to be proud to kill your child is just, it's beyond disgusting to me. It's beyond, and these folks that are doing it is just outrageous. And another thing is the men. You want to talk about women empowering, and these women dressed in vaginas and these hats and putting these derogatory words on their children's heads and making them march. I mean, I was inside of that women's march here 2 years ago. It was disgusting. It was just horrible. And yes, John. Exactly. That, I mean, we can all dispute this one too. There's some people that have been born that, you know, they've said in jest or whatever, or being mean that maybe they should have been aborted. But no, everybody's entitled to that. These children don't have a choice. They don't know any better. And with that, I'm a huge proponent on birth control and education. And you know, I'm 46 years old with 6 grandbabies. My oldest grandchild's 8.5. Do the math. And I will tell you something. Her mom and dad stepped up to the plate, and the family stepped up to the plate, and they surrounded those kids. Does that happen every day? No. But they have 2 beautiful kids. They're dressed well. They're educated well. They're taken care of. They have a beautiful roof over their head. Loving parents. You know, so does that happen every day? No, but I'm talking from experience. That's the only thing I can talk about. And when it comes to abortion, these men get up there and they start, well, we can do this. And the governor, talk about karma and God coming back, dude. I mean, the governor of Virginia, you're talking about 84, where, I mean, this just came out just recently here within the last couple hours, where they found him in blackface and standing there. It was either him in the blackface or underneath the white hood. You know, when does anybody remember when the Republicans were blamed for that? You know, you were the racists. The Republicans and the conservatives were the racists. Dudes, it wasn't true. It wasn't true. That dude's proof of it, you know? And he's going to sit there and say, I'm okay with this, and I'm okay for women's rights. I guarantee you that his wife or whatever, let's go talk to her or past girlfriends and how this guy was. Chauvinist, I'm sure. And I mean, I'm not playing right or left on this one as far as political aspects go, but we know genuinely pro-life and pro-choice is Republican or Democrat. It's just the mindset. And using abortion for birth control is ridiculous. And I mean, I've seen, no matter how you feel about Bristol Palin or her family or Sarah Palin, Bristol Palin is an amazing, amazing woman. And got to give her kudos, you know, for what she's been through. But she is a huge voice in the pro-life movement. Huge. And she shares these stories all the time about, you know, these families that have children that are deformed, and they know they're not going to make it very much past birth, even if they do. And there's one, pray for Shane, and congratulations to his parents who just did have another child after they lost Shane. But when they found out that very early on that he was going to be born deformed with his top part of his head not having his brain, that he wasn't going to live very long after he was born, they decided to film and videotape and celebrate all the moments through her entire pregnancy. It was absolutely beautiful. And that's something that they have to share in their grief and their pain throughout this, but that brought them closer to their child. And then they eventually had another child, and healthy and beautiful. So you can look that family up too. Prayers for Shane. It's just, there's just so many amazing stories out there, and I want to get those stories out, not the horrific ones. We see so much on the news every single day, and my kids don't even watch the news. I have to call them and tell them what the weather's going to be like, or text them, because it's horrible. You know, it's always bad things. It's always just, everybody just gets so down. I don't watch the news anymore. I get my news from here at the White House. Fox News, every once in a while, if there's a breaking story and it comes across my phone, I'll pick it up. But ABC, forget you. I mean, I'm surprised they're not sporting live abortions on TV, you know, postpartum. But this Virginia, This Virginia governor, come on. He just got nailed, and they are going to nail him and nail him and nail him. You want to kill a baby after it's born? See what happens? Somewhere along the line in all of your campaigning, nobody brought that out till today. That is like your ace in the hole they've kept there. Don't tell me that stuff hadn't been brought up before. They fish for that stuff. Do you know how many campaigns keep stuff under wraps for years? I wouldn't know that. I don't know how that happens. But bottom line is, he's not going to just get an apology out there and things are just going to be wiped underneath the table. It's not going to happen because you're killing babies or you're propositioning for that. It's very sad. So I'm really, really interested in how you all feel about this. And you don't have to publicly say it because it's a touchy issue for some people. There's folks I know, God rest their soul, my mom had gone through it between my brother and I think it was after my brother was born. My mother's son, I won't talk to him. He's a total left wing so far out, they have to throw a fishing line out to reel him in just to touch the tip of the left wing. I'm telling you, not even going to go there. That's a whole series on that one. But my mom had to have an abortion, and she lived with that her whole life. And when she finally divulged that to me, it was very painful for her. It was something that she never forgave herself for, and that was tough. But she had been raped, and like I said, I don't talk about things that I haven't experienced or had not been touched by, because I don't have a right to. You know, that's at that point I'm having an opinion about something I don't know much about. I can, take in some information, but I don't like to talk about things that I don't know about or haven't experienced. Oh, Kimmy, I love you too, honey. I love you. A Trump girl. Trump. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your stories too. I have several people that are going to be coming on. I don't know what happened to my glasses. I don't know. I got them when I was heavier. Whatever. I don't need them now. So I'll put these little granny glasses on, and then I won't be able to see anything. So anyways, I'm really looking forward to this. I know it's pretty late at night, but that affected me tonight, seeing that on there about that little baby. It couldn't be any more true. And we're under attack. We can go very political on this, and I plan to, because we are under attack. Women are under attack. You don't think we are, but our uterus is not so much mine because it's useless. That's a good story. I'm 46, and I've been trying to get the doctors to take my uterus and everything out for years, and they just went and they said, I have no use for them. And in September, some weird things were happening, and I just thought it was overstress. And last month, still nothing was happening. I wasn't getting hot flashes. I wasn't having these ups and downs and all this stuff they talk about with menopause. So well, I'm on the phone with my daughter, and she said, "Where are you at, Mom?" And I said, "I'm at the drugstore." She goes, "What are you doing at the drugstore?" So I'm getting a pregnancy test. She goes, "Why are you getting a pregnancy test?" And I was like, "I don't know." It kind of just stopped back in September. And she said, "When are you going to get it through your head? You're old. You're just old. You're old and dried up." But a half hour later, I sent her a picture. Feeling negative. She's like, "You got it? You're old. You're all dried up." So, anywho, our uteruses are under attack. Women don't understand that. You're not getting it. We're getting played. Some people are getting played where these men are coming out and they're holier than thou. Oh, yeah, women's rights. And what about the babies? What about the babies' rights? You made your decision. When it comes to incest and rape, no, you didn't, but you do have a choice and you do have a decision to make. And it's up to you as to what you do. I would never tell anybody any other ways. I know how I feel for the reasons that why I feel the way I do too as well. But that doesn't mean that my opinions or how I feel is right or wrong. It's just how I feel. So with that being said, if you are contemplating it or you have done it and you would like a hug or you want to talk about it and vent in private, I'm here. And I know there's a lot of other folks out there that are going to feel the same way too as I do. It's not shaming anybody for it. It's just saying there are other alternatives, and we want you to know that, and we're here for them. And that's probably one of the hardest decisions, except for these yin-yangs that are out there playing it off like it's some big joke. It's not. Killing a child, whether it's a mercy killing for you or for that child, It's still killing that child. We have you're absolutely right, Urban. Our way of life and values as human beings are under attack. I mean, you can't walk down the street without somebody saying, I can go down this path real quick and jump off of it in a heartbeat. With our Christian values, or whether you believe in a higher power or not, or God, or what have you, or a complete atheist, somewhere along the line, I've even seen the best atheist in the world. You smack that person in the toe with a hammer, or their loved ones are dying, what's the first thing they say? Oh God, please pray for my mama. Well, who are you praying to? You don't believe in God? That's an automatic right there. My brother, huge atheist. Every time my mom got sick, please pray for my mom. And I call him out. I'm like, pray to who? Who are you praying to? You don't believe in God. So just think about that. These people that are in these positions, don't hate them for the humans that they are portraying themselves to be. There might be something else going on there that we need to find out. And that's what our purpose on life is, or on this earth in life, is he's sending us out. There's not a coincidence for all of us knowing one another. The people that are on here tonight, every one of you, it's no coincidence. You're not listening to me. You're listening to somebody voicing themselves through me, because I don't know it all, but he does. So I just let him vent. And we need to stand up, and we need to stop this death. Oh, for God's sakes. I know my husband wanted to be here for this, because the Boy Scouts are allowing Girl Scouts or girls to join the Boy Scouts. I thought that's what Girl Scouts were, but no, we've got this gender thing, and oh my gosh, so many other things we could talk about on that part. Whether you're straight or gay, or love this or don't love that, or whatever, as long as it's not an animal. Come on, you're crossing the line there. That is affecting me, because you're affecting an animal. But we've all got to kind of cohabitate. But this Boy Scout thing, come on, that's just ridiculous. You know what my husband said? He goes, when he was in the Boy Scouts, because he went the whole way through, he said, we prayed for those Girl Scouts to be camping in the same location we were, so we check them out swimming. That's the whole thing. These boys are going to love that, right? How do you control that? They're the ones out there talking about abortions all day long. It's such a crazy world we live in, but we kind of all got to get together. Just, I guess, for nothing more than tomorrow, just hug the ones you love. Walk up to somebody that you don't know that looks like they're having a bad day. Just ask them if you're up to it, because you never know what you're going to get there. Trust me, I know that one. But just wear a smile on your face. You're having the worst day in life, call somebody and talk to them. That's the first thing I did. As soon as that went down, I called my friend. I said, call me back right now. And she did. And then it was just one person after another, which was really awesome. So, yeah, the best of us needs somebody, all of us. We can't do this alone. We weren't born alone, and hopefully none of us will ever die alone. And we won't, not when we have God. He's always going to be there with us. And I'm not going to preach that tonight. So I know it's late. It's 10:39. I got to put the glasses on. Yeah, 10:39. So I know, Kimmy, tell me about it. Exactly. You know what, John, he said it best. He said, John, Jesus loves everyone, no matter what race, religion, sex, etc. You're absolutely right. And as far as I'm concerned, we are all just one. We're all human beings. We're all human beings, except for Hillary Clinton. I don't know what she is. I don't know. There's quite a few of them, other ones that are on that list now. But who knows? I'm just not going to go down that bunny hole tonight. So Jesus does love us all, and we all are humans. And the way I look at it, we're all just another shade of beige. That's it. That's why I look at it. Or cream, or cocoa. I don't know. So it's just so sad. It's so sad that our world's just gotten to the way that it has. And it didn't just start within this last decade or last 20 years or 40 years. It's been going on. And I want to say that as conservatives, we need to step it up. We need to quit being such Polaroid cameras. We're digital now. not rotary phones anymore. And a lot of strict conservatives still are living in the old day where there's things that can't change. And I don't believe that. Things have to change. We don't have to go back to the way that we were, just like, you know, President Trump says, we got to make America great again. And there are people on the left that question, well, why are you saying that we weren't great? Or you're saying, when were we great? And there are quite a few times, even through the Depression, where people came together. And, you know, just so many times in history where if it's going to repeat itself, thank God Trump's going to be president again. But we as a race have to understand it doesn't take a 9/11 for us all to pull together. And it shouldn't take one man running for the presidency for us all to band together, which we did. And boy, did we. And they want to talk about division? Nope. You want to talk about that man the other day real quick? Jesse or however he pronounces it, claimed he was in, somebody yelled mega country in Chicago at 2 a.m. in the morning and it being 20 degrees below zero. I'm going to call BS on that one. Big time. Ain't nobody calling mega country in Chicago. Not had you been in Western Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh, downtown proper, I might have said you had a shot, but not in Chicago. It ain't happening, dude. Why ain't he talking about that on his Twitter account? It's just a shame because you know what? At the end of the day, like my husband said, he'll go on Ellen and claim, well, I wasn't selling out on my ticket sales and I wasn't doing this and I needed that and I'm so sorry, or I was drunk, or there'd be an excuse. Oh, baby. My company's name is No Excuses, Only Solutions. I ain't going to forgive somebody for that because at that point, I can't even tell you how many people came out, how many politicians came out. They all jumped on that bandwagon. Like this poor man just got jumped in the middle of nowhere coming out of a subway. He don't remember where. He don't remember exactly what time. He knows he called his manager and he had that person on the phone taping it. And he recalled this, but he didn't recall that. And I was just sitting there recalling that Kavanaugh hearing where kind of the same thing, and it was a setup, and it was proven that it was a setup, but you don't hear about those trials going on. You don't hear about anybody talk about Miss Ford. I think it's a bunch of two standard, and we need to rise up. You want to talk about Cory Booker today? Oh, we could go on. Cory Booker coming out, Mr. Spartan himself. I'm going to have a Spartacus moment. You're going to have a whole bunch of whack-a-mole right over the head moment when you come out because you got more dirt on you than a barn that ain't been cleaned out in a month full of horses. Most of them do. It's just funny. I posted a thing that I made up earlier today. Yep, that was me and my bright ideas. But it was fitting. It was very fitting. I'm just so... It's embarrassing, and I thank God that my grandkids are not watching the news. It's just sad. Sad. So sad that I don't know, what do they have, like 50 people in the race now? Oh, it's just tiring trying to keep up with them all. But it's very, very, very sad. Sad society that we live in. It's even sadder for the folks that are going to sit on the sidelines and do nothing because you know what? We can't let that happen. And we can't just rely on one person. We can't rely on Trumpism and Mr. Trump and Donald Trump and President Trump to clear the way for us because he can't do it on his own. He can't. Look at what's going on with this border wall. Why do you think they're fighting that one? Come on. They got a guy with a fast pass that just came over with the largest truckload full of fentanyl that they've busted. He got busted. Think about all the ones that don't. You know, think about that. All the ones that have not gotten caught. This is a fast pass. What's a fast pass mean? Oh, he's been vetted, he's been secured, and they don't have time to check him out. But somewhere along the line, the second place did. Was that somebody that was tipped off? Maybe there was somebody in the... Just saying, never know what's going on down there. We don't need to know. But what we do need is a border, and we need a fence, and we need a wall, and we need all the stuff that President Trump's asking for and a whole heck of a lot more. You ain't visited that border. You had a guy on there tonight coming up from Honduras and Guatemala that said, oh, I ain't going there because they stopped them because there's a wall and they can't get through the port and they're just hanging out. Oh, we're going to go to Texas. A little bit further, but we're going to go there. And they piled them into the back of a tractor trailer and they're heading home. They're going straight for the border. Ain't nothing there. You know, wake up. And every time, oh yeah, Heather, I think it's way past the Dems, or the Dems and the votes. It's way past that. There is no money made in the votes because it doesn't matter whether we've seen it. There's election fraud all over the country. You had one county that has 54,000 residents, but 95,000 voted. Hello? I mean, it just happens everywhere. They just found we have 11,000 people here that are undocumented that were signed up. Forget about the votes. I mean, not saying that that's not an important thing, because it is, and it's just something that's going to happen, and we know that. But at the end of the day, this is drugs and guns. It's money. It boils down to money. Look at good old half-dead Sanders, Barry Sanders. Look at him. Just look at him. Now look at his portfolio. The man has never worked a private sector job in his entire life. Never. But he owns 6 homes. And his wife's under indictment. Did anybody remember that? Him and his wife are facing charges for fraud. That is a qualification I have noticed that is among all Democratic candidates at any level. A fraud charge. You get a fraud charge? You're a candidate to be president of the United States if you're a Democrat. Come on. I get the biggest kick out of some of this stuff. Oh my Lord. I'm going to come out there. I'm going to make sure that women can kill their babies after birth. Oh, forget about the fact that I was in blackface or I was wearing a white hood back in medical school and put that in a yearbook. You know what I asked Fox today? I want you to do me a favor. If you think you could go and find that just out of the blue, nobody gave you that. You just found that because that's what you were looking for. Oh, I'm just going to go look for this guy's yearbooks. Why don't you go find Obama's? Why don't we go find Obama's? His high school yearbook, one of the college yearbooks. Go find one of those. What's it going to matter now, right? You're not going to find him in that. Guarantee it. Maybe he was the one under the hood. Who knows? Anywho, so, oh yeah. Oh, it's his wife that has the criminal charges. I know. They're married. Kind of like what's going on with Duncan Hunter over there in California. Keep my mouth quiet on that one. Oh yeah, their investments. Oh crap! Hey, did anybody notice that we're going off the subject? No, we're not. We're on it. Think about it. This all intertwines with so many dealings that we go to bed every single night not knowing. You got Afghanistan. Why are we still there? Or what is heroin made from? Poppies, right? Yeah, I think so. And who's got the largest crop in the whole world? I don't know. And oh yeah, by the way, it's not just Mexicans coming through or South American or Central American residents that are coming through that border. There's 51 different countries. Pakistan, 1, Iran, Russia, China. Let's see, who else? Muslims. That's not a country. And these aren't all good people either. Why do they have to go through Mexico to come through there? Because they can't get through the other way. Why? Because they're coming in illegally. These are people that are being stopped, not through the points of entry, by the way. Those are being stopped on the other points of their entry, wherever they feel they can find a spot to go in. And again, we know that there's no good intentions with those folks. So, anywho, lots to discuss, lots of days ahead of us, hopefully. Praise be to God that happens, because I don't think he's done with me yet. And we're going to keep going forward. So I want to thank everybody for taking your time out to kind of hang out with me tonight. And I know it's late. And, you know, for you guys over in California, it's done. Hey, Heather, I can't wait to see you again. Kimmy, I just love you, honey. I love you to death. Yep, you're right, Sandra. And it's going to take us. Like when I post those things and I say, hey, you know what? I just got off a conference call with the White House. Did. Am I talking to Trump? Nope. Can't say a word because we're all on hush. But he's talking to us. It's not recorded or anything else like that. This is coming from his heart. He is the same person in person as he is on the phone. A little bit different than when he's at a rally because it's not all rah, rah, rah stuff. It's getting his point across. So when I share those things with you, I'm sharing with you what he wants us to do. So anybody that is a Trumpian or wants to make America great again, keep America great, there's so many things that have gone on that you can't even think of all the accomplishments. Go on his website, donaldjtrump.com. Look at the accomplishments. Oh, and that's one more thing too. Anybody that wants an opportunity to maybe get on the team this time, they actually have a careers button. If you go down and volunteer or whatever, and they also have a careers position. Stop calling me about it, because I have nothing to do with the campaign as far as that goes, or with getting jobs at the White House. It just doesn't happen. After Omarosa pulled her crap last January, everybody pretty much got hosed out of all the contact that we did have. Other than being able to do tours and special fun things like that and VIP tickets to the events. It's been a totally different beast. But go ahead, get on and get involved with that. But when I asked you to make phone calls, or I asked you to do text or emails or faxes or whatever, there's a reason for it, because those do matter. And we've seen it time and time again with the tax cut jobs bill. We worked on that, Kavanaugh hearings, and the border. I mean, come on, we need to get behind the president on that. And people can say, you know what, he didn't get it passed in the first 2 years when we had a House and a Senate. Well, who did we have in the House? We had Ryan. And who fought Trump at the beginning? Mitch McConnell. Who was in there? The Senate. So it was his own people fighting him. And I've said it time and time again, and I'll say it forever. Democrats will rally around their person, no matter. They'll pull the wagons around them no matter what. They provide a unified front. No matter what happens to that person, they're going to defend them. And Republicans, they eat their young. They will fight each other till the death. And it's right or wrong, it's just the way it is. And it has to change, because that's one of the things that the president said. And there's quite a few of you that have just joined that have been on these calls, when he has asked for and begged for us to provide unity, one united front, to stand together, to work together, and to really boost him up and boost our Republican candidates up. And hey, there are some bad ones out there, just as there are in the Democrats. But at the end of the day, our core beliefs go with that. Our core beliefs. Don't just vote somebody in because of name recognition, because one of the best things that some of these senators and Congress are vying for, that's term limits. I mean, Ted Cruz, God love him. I mean, we've needed that forever. But you wouldn't have your Bernie Sanders. You wouldn't have, Orrin Hatch. And I mean, hey, they were great people. If you don't sign up for a career in politics, you're no longer that deep state. You're no longer that bad politician, because it will get to you. I don't care the best of intentions going into it. It gets to you, because one, you have your peers. Two, you feel that you have to get in with the good old system. And if you've ever worked a campaign or ever dealt with any of these people and these politicians behind the scenes, they talk just like Trump does out in the field. Every time he goes to a rally, he's saying exactly what they say behind closed doors. But the only difference between him and them is he has the guts and the nads to get up there and say it. Because it's not what we want to hear. It's what we know is being said. It's what we've been saying. We just have one voice that is being seen by millions of people all over the world. And there's a lot of great people. I mean, there are people in Greece and Australia and Germany and Paris and France and England, even in China, that love not his rhetoric, but his passion for our country. We are a self-sustaining country. Did you know that? We don't need another country for anything. We have it all. We're choosing not to get robbed by these other countries anymore. Technologies, anything China has, they've stolen off of us. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And that stuff's got to stop, because our government's been the definition of insanity, and it's done. And he put a stop to it. And we have to unite to make sure that continues, because Donald Trump is going to run again. He has already, he signed the papers the day after the inauguration. When we were in Washington, D.C., he filed. So his intentions are there, and make no mistake of that. And hopefully this Russian thing will go away, soon. It's just ridiculous what has gone on here in the last few weeks, and Roger Stone and the Mueller case, and just it's so much wasted time. We just need to unite. So let's get together. No shaming people. Give hugs. If somebody that you know that is close to you is having a bad day, make a phone call. ask them what's going on if you can handle it. If not, maybe fish it over to somebody or send somebody that can help, because you might be going through your own things. You don't need to be more overwhelmed. Or like me, when I'm having a bad day, I want to work with somebody else so that, you know, you feel better. There's days where I'll go and I'll watch Maury Povich just to make myself feel better. Like, you're having a way worse day than I am, you know. But it's sad that you have to think about that, but we've got to be kind to one another, and that hate will consume you. If you've watched the movie The Bird Box, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to plug it because it is a Netflix film, but it's pretty deep when you think about it. You know, this hatred will consume you, and it tries to bring you in and lure you in like it's a good thing, and it's not. It's misery loves company, and it's sad. You know what? Happiness does too. Happiness loves company. That's going to be our new motto. Happiness loves company, and we love one another. So I love everybody that has stayed with me tonight, has come on board, and for those of you that are going to watch it later, that's awesome. And we're going to go ahead and continue with Chew on This, Tricia Cunningham, on Monday. We're going to be in the kitchen, by the way. I'm going to be cooking up some fun stuff that you can eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. There's no stigma in the way that I eat. I can eat lasagna, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, just snack. Portion sizes are going to be a little bit different, and it works. It's been proven by the guy on the doctors. I just saw that today. That's been out for 2 years. Dr. Oz, you know, all the big American Heart Association, American Dietetics Association. My co-author, for God's sake, she's a registered dietitian and nutritionist in New York that has worked with the biggest names. You know, the New York Giants, the New York Mets, the Women's Center. She has her own clinic. I mean, I'm not one of those stuffy guys that sat behind a desk and developed this plan. I lived it. I absolutely lived it, and I've lived it with thousands. I'm telling you, thousands of other people that I've worked with over the years. Big, you know, name-known celebrities and all that other kind of fun stuff too. It's out there. It's a compassion, and it's a lot of hard work. It's not easy. It's not, because you're changing a habit. Remember, we have to have an incentive. And one thing I'm going to plug the reverse diet on. The best incentive about that is immediate results. Immediately. The next day when you start the plan, the next day you're going to have more energy, and you're going to see initial weight loss immediately, right off the bat. Right off the bat. How cool is that? Your first week, you're going to feel so good. You're going to be like, how didn't I do this? And you hit plateaus that can help you over that. You go out to dinner. You go on a trip. You go to the holidays. Your spouse doesn't want to do it. Your kids don't want to do it. No reason why they can't eat healthy too, right? Or, hey, if you do have to make a couple different meals, here's how you do it. Save yourself some time, space, and money. And I can show you all the tricks of the trades. I've been doing this for 20 years. 20 people. And I've gone up and down, done my thing. But I'll never be 300 pounds again. And I will never, ever in my life not be there for you. So, folks, good night. God bless. Hugs to all of you. Much love from Tricia Cunningham. Chew on this. God bless. And we're out.